I just want to mention some reports from the Fultondale Fire Chief. He says we've been hit bad, multiple injuries, multiple houses, trees down everywhere, people are trapped.
We knew that there was a possibility for some severe thunderstorms that night.
Where I'm standing used to be someone's home.
There's obviously a lot of issues here tonight in Fultondale in terms of damage.
We had no idea that, it'd be as bad as it was going to be that night.
Vestavia is on the way now into Fultondale with heavy rescue equipment and technical assistance.
One of our EMA officers, Melissa Sizemore, was watching the radar, and we use the same radar that the National Weather Service uses. There's the storm, and there's no rotation. Another radar sweep. Is that starting to rotate? The next sweep, it is rotating. So from the first rotation seen on radar until it was on the ground was 8 minutes. And this is 10:30 at night. People are already asleep, people are in bed. This one fell out of the sky on him and immediately started destroying large areas of the city of Fultondale and on into Center Point.
We just started trying to provide help as quick as possible and really try to get a good assessment of the totality of the incident, not knowing exactly how much of our city had been destroyed.
I heard a loud train, like a train that's coming through the house. Then we couldn't go out because the trees was up in the air. So all we could do, is just sit, try to find some place in the house to be safe. Then my sister called me and asked me what I was going to do. I told her, if I'm not here, if you don't see me tomorrow, then I'm gone. So I went in. By that time, I heard the siding coming off the house. I could just hear it pull out. Then I went into my pantry and I got me a chair and I sit down in my pantry and I folded my arms up and I just said, Lord, it's in your hands. And by that time I felt myself rolling. I rolled 2 times and I felt nothing else. When I woke up, I was on the other side of the road, on my stomach. All the house was over there with me, and I was hollering for help.
Emergency Disaster Services is just one part of what the Salvation Army does, how we serve, how we deliver hope every single day. We answer the call. Yes, on the front end, people see the shield, they see the red shirts, they see the response. There's a lot of work that goes into it. But one thing is for certain, once you serve on disaster, your life is never the same.
Our unit's able to go out and serve a hot meal and hydration for the folks that are first responders, folks who live in the community, folks that are coming in to help volunteer to clean up. And so, and I think it's crucial because it shows the community that they're not alone in the midst of their disaster, their chaos. The Salvation Army shows up and we're able to do some good things because of the equipment that we have, the volunteers that we have, and the resources that we have.
Salvation Army is one of our very first phone calls, always, because we know what you can bring, we know the people resources you can bring, we know the physical assets that you can bring, and we've seen you in action before. You know, some groups might need a little more direction than others. Salvation Army doesn't, because you're so well practiced, you're so well trained, and you take care of your people who then take care of the community.
There's things that, the needs and the necessities for these residents that we have, where organizations as Salvation Army kind of think about that stuff ahead of time when it's kind of thrown in our laps. So to be able to lean on somebody else and say, hey, if you can handle this need, we can focus our efforts over here on this issue that we're more specialized in. So you can't survive without having those organizations back you up especially for the long-term recovery.
Just to know that the Salvation Army is going to be able to be there to help you as you begin to move forward makes a big difference. Providing that, liquid or that food is a first start, but sometimes just being there listening. And then as they go into a long-term recovery, how can we help them with a roof, with a deck, or with steps, or maybe with appliances or furniture or something. And so, yeah, it makes a big difference because they've lost everything. When the Salvation Army pulls up, it's going to be okay. The Salvation Army's here.